با عرض سلام صدای من میشنوین؟
بله شروع شد.
بله صدا هست.
با عرض سلام خدمت همگی برادران و دوستان. اعوذ بالله من الشیطان الرجیم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا و ما كنا لنهتدی لولا ان هدانا الله. برادر تشریف آوردن ظاهرا، میخوان که من ادامه بدم؟
بفرمایید بعد شما شروع میکنه.
As you have all heard, my topic is water and its role in human life. To start the discussion, I want to say a little bit from point of view of Allah and what is in Quran. Before that, I want to just remind everybody and ourselves that, of course, Quran has been among the Muslim for more than 1,000 years, as you all know, 1,400 years. And we have been all blessed, we have been benefited with this amazing revelation from Allah that we all have so easily available to us, and we have access to it. And for those of us that like Quran and are familiar with Quran, and even for those that may not be as familiar, it is very easily seen that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasis in various surah and various ayahs and different occasions, Allah puts a special stress and emphasis on the nature and the elements of natures. For example, it is just I'm sure all of you are aware of that, but many times Allah refers to earth, skies, cloud, trees, mountains, and especially, of course, water and rain and these elements of nature, these components of nature, maybe we can say. And water, without a doubt, is one of the most significant and most important of these elements that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about it frequently. And just to get ourselves a little bit reminded, as you all know, as we all know, in Islam, there is a special bond with the water. And for example, the daily prayer that we do, like 3 times or more, we have to wash our hands and our face and our by doing the wudu. And right away you can see that this is very unique in Islam compared to probably other religion, because it is like you can see that how much is water is central in our religion. Also, you can also see that tahara and keeping our body clean with water is also another thing that it is interesting to think about it. And another thing is ghusl, and taking shower and taking a bath before special occasions, before certain events, and also certain times that maybe our body is not clean. So these, you can see right away, it makes it very central and very focal point that water is very, very much focused by Allah and is focused by the Quran and in our religion. To this extent that Imam Sadiq, alayhi salam, says that it's a key to water is a key to get you close to Allah and to meditate, and therefore you can see the importance of the water in that way. So this is kind of background, and then I want to talk a little bit more also in the way that the water is in Quran. Throughout Quran, Allah has referred to water, and water in Arabic is ma, and Allah has referred in Quran to ma, or water, 59 times, and also 4 more times in association with other things. So just call it 60 times that this ma has been mentioned. And it has been mentioned in different ways. So I've written some of these here, and I don't think I need to go through that, but let's see if we can remind ourselves. It has been referred in various parts of Quran, and I have all this reference if you need to know which sentence and which surah and which ayah these that I'm mentioning here. There are like, I think I've written here 14 of them. But the first one I've written here is rain, in the form of rain. Water in the form of rain has been mentioned frequently in Quran. And also the second one is that Allah's territory and kingdom, that in Arabic we say bastar arsh, arsh ilahi. These have been mentioned again. The third one is this washing up to get ready for praying, wudu, and also storm and flood has been mentioned in Quran. These are all, as I said, different reference to water. And also origin of creation, mansha'i khalqat, also has been referred, to ma, which that I can explain later on if I get a chance today. I don't know. But there are others. It has been mentioned water as nutfa. It has been mentioned as creeks and streams and arroyos, fountains, etc. And then drinking water, and also the water in the wells, and also agriculture, etc. So this is basically this 60 times that I mentioned. It goes different ways, but the one that is central to us, and it relates to the talk today, I have picked 2 of the ayahs that I would like to read in here to start this discussion. And the first one is from Surah Anbiya, which means the prophets, and is number 30, is ayah 30. And this is what it says: وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Allah says, we made everything alive from water. Don't you think? Don't you believe? And this is, maybe at the first glance, it doesn't appear, a big deal. But as you look at it, Allah is saying here that every single thing has been made. وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ. And this is really big, because you can see the role of water, how it affects to everything. So this probably needs more explanation. We can expand on this, but I think it's on all of us, each one of us, to think about this, what this means, and sit down and really think and see how immense this concept that Allah introduces here means and how it affects us. The second one is from Surah Nur, which means light, and is number 45, ayah 45. And here's what Allah says, very similar to that one. وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَ كُلَّ دَابَّةٍ مِّن مَاءٍ. And it against it again it is like the first one that I read, but look at it. Allah khalaqa, created, kulla dabbatin, every single moving body, let's say, which means human, means live creatures. Min ma. God created every single of these animals and beings from water. And then it's probably, I'll just finish the ayah just to get the benefit from it. And Allah specifies a little bit more, or elaborates a little bit more. فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَمْشِي عَلَى بَطْنِهِ. And from all these animals that just Allah mentioned, some of them, يَمْشِي عَلَى بَطْنِهِ, walks on his stomach. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَمْشَى عَلَى رِجْلَيْنِ. And some of them walk on the two legs. So the first one, okay. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ يَمْشِي عَلَى أَرْبَعٍ. And some others walk on four legs. So the example is very clear. The first one that says yamshi ala batnihi, this would be like a snake and like a crocodile and those animals that walk on their stomach that we have seen. And the second one, two legs, is human. And then the last one is all the four-legged animals that we are very familiar. And then Allah finishes this sentence by saying that يَخْلُقُ اللَّهُ مَا يَشَاءُ. Anything that Allah wants to create, of course, He has the freedom to do so, and مَا يَشَاءُ, whatever He decides, whatever He wants. So the emphasis of this is at the first part that it says وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَ كُلَّ دَابَّةٍ مِّن مَاءٍ. And again, you can see the role of water, how central and how focal is in not only our lives, but on everything, every animal or every being. So with this background, Allah persuades us to think about water frequently, and Allah does the same thing with other elements of nature. And He also orders us to thank Allah, to do shukr of Allah for giving us such a huge ni'mah or blessing. And when I say this, it may not sound too much that this is such a immense, such a great blessing from Allah. But inshallah, maybe as we talk more about it, you can see the role of this amazing ni'mah of Allah, this water, and you can see how unbelievable it is. I hope that I can go through this as much as I can, and then give you some background, and then inshallah, if I need to continue in maybe another session, then I will do that and give you more detail. So what's the reason that Allah wants us to think about the water and thank Him, shukr, do shukr for this vehicle that He has given us, this blessing that He has given us? Because the answer would be because water gives us life. And I will explain that more in a little bit. And protects the liveliness. Not only gives, it also, it has to be available for us to continue our liveliness. And also it has variety of benefits, including this one that I wrote here, that it cleanses human and the whole earth, basically. And I will get to that. Also, water is clean from contamination, whether being microbial or being chemical, as it comes down from the sky, as it comes down from the clouds. It's free. Now you have to pay attention that we human beings do a lot of things to mess this up, because as you all, I'm sure, have heard about acid rain. But acid rain is something that we human beings have altered the nature that causes the water to change and become contaminated, become acid rain. But the fact, and I will explain this as soon as maybe not this time, or but I will explain it, how Allah, when creates the water and evaporates the water from the surface of the earth, from the various parts, how Allah formulates these evaporations so that only the clean and clear part of the water gets evaporated, and it does not take with it the contamination and the pollutions and all impurities. Water is also useful and desirable. Why is desirable? Because it's free from physical pollution and impurities as it comes down from the clouds as rain. Water is readily available to us. And I explained that. It is easily accessed as part of the rain that Allah gives to all over the world. And also as groundwater that anywhere, not anywhere, but most of the land, almost, if you consider that if you dig down in anywhere on the earth, deep enough, you're going to get to water. And so this is what I mean by being available, accessible for us. Rivers and others is also available to us. And it takes our smarts and our ability to figure this out and to make that into drinking water, which I hope that maybe in future time I will explain a little bit on those, and water treatment. That is a big subject and is very enjoyable, and I hope that I'm proud if I can talk about those in a different time. Finally, it's fairly inexpensive. Even water departments all over the world charge you for the water, but it still is fairly inexpensive if you consider how vital role it has for us and how much do we need on a daily basis, maybe more frequently than daily basis. Still is fairly inexpensive, and it's blessing from Allah, I would think. Water is refreshing and is free from taste and odor, which is a term that is being used in any water seminar or water related discussions. Taste and odor. It does not come with the foul smell. It does not come with the bad taste. If it comes salty in some particular areas, it is making sense, because water comes from let's say on the most area, there's two different waters. They call it groundwater and surface water. Groundwater is much more pure than surface water, but in some particular areas, because of the formation where the water comes from and comes through, it picks up some of the salts, and it may be occasionally a little bit salty taste, but it's manageable. It's not like something that we cannot resolve. It easily can be resolved. And finally, it is very sweet and fulfilling because it contains minerals that our body needs badly. It contains different elements. It even contains heavy metals like, for example, iron and manganese. And it has this other categories. It's called TDS, total dissolved solids. It's the dissolved solids are needed, and some of them are actually healthy for us to have. And then also water contains trace elements, and trace elements are those that our body craves and needs. And so therefore it has, water is, I said, is sweet and fulfilling because it has the essential nutrients that we all crave and we need. Calcium, magnesium, potassium, etc. These are the things that our body need. And if we drink the water, let's say without treatment, if we drink the water, most of these are within that. It contains, the water contains all these things that I mentioned and our body needs to some extent, and depending on where the source of water is, etc. So when I categorize this, Allah formulated the water to possess these special characteristics that I kind of mentioned here. So my hope is that I can talk probably in the next session or something a little bit more detailed, in more details about water treatment, about different ways that we can massage and we can treat and we can use the water. So here's the list of things that I would like to mention it, which I think we will probably need different session for it. And so here I wrote water treatment, for example. What constituents, the things that are in the water, of water are useful and necessary for our body, which I just mentioned a couple of them. Also, what constituents of water are harmful to us? These are very important to know so that we can figure out what we need to have in water and what we need to get rid of in the water. This comes under the category of water treatment. And also, who caused the harm or the pollution in the water, or that contamination that we have to rid the water of? What are the constituents that cause cancer, cause digestive problems, causes diseases and disorders? These are big categories, and I'm just mentioning that these are the things that I'd like to maybe talk about if we have the chance in future. Therefore, a list of harmful constituents. You probably have heard some of them. Pharmaceutical is the new thing, and it's funny that it used to be in water industry, used to be that things were measured in parts per billion, which, long time ago, 20 years ago or so, we were saying that, parts per billion is so small, is microgram per liter. It's so small that it's like almost getting close to zero. Well, now this pharmaceutical has changed that scale completely. It's parts per trillion. And that is really close to zero. But anyway, without getting too detailed on that, hopefully we'll talk a little bit about this pharmaceutical contamination. And one thing I want to mention, for example, as we age, or how do you call it, as the time passes, people appear to be all over the world, appear to be taking more medicine because medicine is so readily available, and a lot of people believe in medicine very quickly, and so they use it. As you use the medicine, you of course discharge it. It goes through your body and it comes out. And as it comes out, where does it go? It ends up frequently in the waters, the rivers, and the lakes, and etc., the ocean. And that has an effect. And I'll just tell you, if you haven't heard this, some of the rivers and some of the lakes, the aquatic life, like fishes, variety of fishes, they have developed some disorders that is unbelievable. And one of the things that I've seen, the first time I heard it in one of these water seminars, I couldn't believe it. The fish exhibit, the male fish exhibit female characteristics. And this is a byproduct of the overuse of the medicine, or the way that we allow the water to the medicine go through and end up in our waters, the bodies of water. So anyway, inshallah, we could get a chance to talk a little bit more about that. And then also I want to mention there are 4 big categories of basically pollutants, contaminants, as they call. And these are big group. I'll just mention it so that we have a little information about it. The first one is called the IOCs. Are you still hearing me?
Yes, go on.
Okay, good. I don't know why I lost the picture. Maybe I touched the mouse. So anyway, let me see if I can get back. But let me continue because I'm all in this part. So the big one of the big category of the water compounds is called IOCs. IOCs meaning inorganic compounds or inorganic chemicals. The other one is VOCs, volatile organic compounds, and there's a lot of talk on that one. There are too many of them, like at least 120 or 140, I forgot which one, of different items within this VOCs. And there are SOCs, which is called synthetic organic compounds or organic chemicals. And then finally, the big category is called RADs, or radiological compounds. So inshallah, if we get a chance, we can talk about these. And then a brief explanation of the various treatment that we have come up, human has come up with to treat the water. And so the beauty of the thing is that Allah has created so much trees, and trees are source of charcoal and carbon. And carbon is amazing. It can treat big contaminations, very simple way, and that's a blessing, another big blessing from Allah that has created such a amazing thing, from the trees to the carbon that is being used. Let me see if I can see this. Okay, so I'm having a little bit problem. I don't know what I touched that you do not see me, but you can hear me. So anyway, can you tell me how much more time I have? Dr. Siamak?
5 to 10 minutes.
10 minutes?
5 to 10
5 to
minutes,
10.
and we can see you fine. So there is
Oh,
we have no
okay.
problem here.
Oh, great. Okay, I don't see myself in here. Something happened. So, okay, 5 minutes. I'll try to kind of mention a couple of things, and then inshallah, I will finish. Here's, I've said the vital role of water in human life, which is part of my topic. I want to mention briefly, I don't know how much I can get that, there are a whole bunch. The first one is health benefits of water for our body and for human. This one has a big list. It's about 20 items. I've had it somewhere else, so I cannot get to it today. But it's very interesting because it gives us a lot of tips and how to use these benefits fully. And then I will inshallah get to that some other times. The other one is drinking and crushing of our thirst. This is another a vital role that water has. It's for drinking purpose, and it crushes our thirst. Another one is for agriculture, growing crops and fruit-bearing trees and plants. And that is very important because it directly affects our life, because we are omnivore, as you know. There are two categories, carnivores and herbivores. And carnivores are the one that only eat meat, like the lion, let's say. But herbivore are the one that only eat grass and plants. And that would be like elephant, cows, etc. But we human are both. We need meat and we need the herbs, and we need the eat both. And therefore that becomes this agriculture becomes so important for our life. The next thing is cleansing ability of water. We wash our clothes, we wash we wash our hands, we wash our bodies, we wash our extremities and our hair. So therefore you can see the direct role that water has in our daily, maybe hourly life. Also, it has a psychological factor here that it makes us feel better. When I take a shower, I look better. We all can agree on that. And we feel a lot better. So this is another role that the water has in our lives, direct role. It has cleaning ability. We wash clothes, we wash our dishes, we wash so many other things, and it has that role. Also, it has cleaning and renovating ability. We wash our our tiles and stones and marbles and buildings and surfaces that we have, the homes we have, the cars we have. It is being used to clean all this. And the ground, we use it to clean. And also, as I said, it has other factors, psychological boost that it has, and we clean things and we enjoy it. It has boiling ability. And we use the boiling ability of water to prepare food, to prepare drinks, to make tea and coffee, tasty stuff, and we enjoy it. And it's fun to take advantage of this precious commodity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us so readily, and we just take it for granted. Also, boiling ability of water allows it to alter physical and chemical quality of many things, of various substances. And that, even in cooking, this ability that water can be boiled and changed is a status, is a state, is also is versatility that the water has. And you can see how Allah formulate this amazing substance that can do so many things. And I'm not even halfway through the list, but I think my 5 minutes is over. So I don't know if I should stop here or should continue. What do you say, Dr. Siamak? Should I continue, or am I already at the end of my time?
Yeah, the end of the time, I think, is finishing up now.
Okay, then. So I think I'll stop here, and then inshallah I'll continue some other time. The big message, the moral of my story is that think about water and see its role and be amazed how versatile, how capable this substance, this liquid that Allah made, and listen to what Quran says and listen to what Allah wants us to think and to thank Him for. The more you talk about it, the more you think about it, you can see the amazing formula and amazing ability that this substance has. And I'm going to stop right here. And thank you all for giving me the chance to be talking about this. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help with that.